Welcome to Spoil Me Nisi. It's me Nisi here, and I hope that you're all doing very well. So today I wanted to give my reaction to the Starz show BMF, which stands for Black Mafia Family. We are about 4 episodes into the season, so I'm not going to review or react to every single episode, but so far I kind of wanted to watch the show just to see if I was really feeling it for a couple of episodes and then make a video about it if I liked it. And so far the show is really good. So in case you haven't seen episode 4 or gotten into the series just yet, as always, just know that this video is going to have spoilers. So let's get into it. So before the show came out, I didn't know too much about Big Meech or Southwest T or any of these individuals. It's not really in my lane. I wouldn't know who they are. I'm in the Northeast. Apparently this happened like in the Detroit area. And around the time that all of this took, when they first started all of that stuff, 1, I wasn't born yet. And 2, around the time that they were really big and with rappers and stuff like that, I wasn't really into rap music. So, I don't really have much of a familiarity with the individuals that this show is about. The only thing that I can say I know about Big Meech is the Rick Ross song. It's a song that he made called BMF some years back, and he said they call him Big Meech, Larry Hoover, and I'm sure if you're familiar with it, you know the song. And it was a pretty big song back years ago, like a while ago. I think I was in high school, when that came out, but whatever. It was a pretty big deal when it came out, and I don't know, I just never looked up who they were. I didn't really know much about them. However, now because I am into the Power series, like the first Power, all the spin-offs and all of that, when this show came out, and it's kind of connected to Power, even though Power is fictional and BMF is loosely based off of a true story. And I say loosely since the disclaimer that's on every episode says that it's loosely based on the truth. In so many words it says that. I'm going to say that. I know that some of the events that take place in the show may be true, may not be true, may be exaggerated, so on and so forth. So as far as my reaction to the show itself, so far so good. I think the acting is great. I think the casting is great. So once I saw the first episode, the funny thing about the first episode is it came out on the same day as the final episode of the season for Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. So after that show went off, I saw BMF and I was like, this looks good. Gave it a try. After that first episode was done, I was like, you know what? I want to know who these people are. So I've just been like Googling like Big Meech, his brother, all these people. And then on Google, it's like a whole like plethora, like all of this information about these people, pictures of like their family, their parents, their sister, all of this stuff. So after seeing like all of those pictures, I can honestly say that whoever did the casting for this BMF show, they did a really good job. I know that it's not all about how much the individuals playing, how much the actors and actresses look like the real people. I know it matters more how they act, but I can say that a lot of other biopic films or series, they don't really get it right as far as like how the people look. But in this show, they actually get it right. The mom that they chose for this show, she does bear a striking resemblance to Big Meech and Southwest T's mom in real life. Like, she really does. I think the guy that they had play Southwest T, I think that he does also bear a striking resemblance to Southwest T. And then also, I can't forget the fact that the person that's playing young Big Meech at the time is Big Meech's actual son, Demetrius Flannery Jr., I think is his name. let me see here. Yeah, Demetrius. Yeah, Big Meech Flannery Jr. Or yeah, Little Meech, I guess they call him. So yeah, they have him playing his dad, and I think that's pretty cool. They have him doing that also because he looks exactly like his father. Like when you look at pictures of when Big Meech was younger, his son looks like just like him. So yeah, I think that was really cool that they had that done, and I'm actually surprised at how good. I'm actually really surprised at how good his acting skills are in the show, because at first I was just like, you know. If that's his son, he probably just got cast because that's his son. Nah, I mean, he can act. He's doing like a really, really good job in the show. So, yeah, that's one thing I like about it. Another thing I like about it is I think that all of the actors are doing a very good job with acting. So, yes, I did give big ups to Little Meech. He's doing a great job playing his dad. His acting is really good. It's not just about how he looks. He's actually doing a good job with the acting. But the other person that I can't deny is doing a fabulous job with acting is the guy that plays Lamar. So I think his name is Eric Coffey Abrifa. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but that guy that's playing Lamar, he's doing an excellent job. Lamar is absolutely insane. He's crazy. If you know what's funny, if it wasn't for the fact that this was based off of a real story, and we know that most of these main characters, like Big Meech, his brother, if it wasn't for the fact that we know that they're still alive today, I would think that Lamar was going to take them out or something like that, because he seems to be like outsmarting them. Like he thought far enough ahead to get that Kato girl to pretty much be like a plant in their organization. It's like he's kind of outsmarting Big Meech and his brother in a lot of ways in the show. Did all of this happen for real in real life? Of course I wouldn't know. But just from the information that's on the show, this guy Lamar is not only crazy, but he's actually kind of smart. So far in the show, they didn't show who actually shot Southwest T, but personally, I think it's pretty obvious that it was Lamar that did it, you know, and he thought to tell everybody that it was that other guy from that rival group, I think 12 Street Boys or something like that. He thought well enough ahead to pretty much tell people to believe that it's him, to make BMF, you know, those guys, you know, want to hurt him or something like that. Even though that's horrible, it's a terrible game. All of them were pretty much in that game together. They chose that life, and it's kind of like Lamar is like outthinking them. Like, now I can't, you know, give him too much credit because he is older than what Meech and his crew are at that point, but still, he's like outsmarting them on like every angle, you know. That Kato girl, she's terrible as well. I can't wait to see what happens with her character in the show. And it's funny because like I've been looking up like all of these people, like where is this person now? Where is this person now? And I can't seem to find anything really on Kato. So if you're listening to this video and you have any information on that, let me know, because I do, hence my name, Spoil Me Nisi. I do like spoilers. It's certainly not going to spoil the show for me, I promise. So in episode 4, we're up to the point now where Big Meech and his brother, you know, they're kind of not seeing eye to eye. And I'm noticing certain things about like Big Meech and his brother in the show, that Big Meech seems to, according to the show, he seems to always take like all of the flack because of his brother. Like his parents seem like his dad seems like he's jealous of Meech and hates Meech's guts based off of his views of Meech. But the truth of the matter is that even though Meech might have had a lot to do with his brother being a part of that illegal lifestyle, his brother is like the brains. It's like he's the one that brought the gun when they went to those guys, and then Meech's dad blamed him for it, kicked him out the house over it. His dad, like, it's almost as though like in the show, Terry does a really good job portraying this image, or like playing this game where he makes everyone think that like he's in school, he's on the right path, you know, he's doing this, he's doing that. while everybody is pointing their fingers at Meech. Meanwhile, Terry's the doggone brains of the operation. He's the one that came up with the idea to use the food truck for their illegal activities. He's the one that came up with that. He's the one that brought in weapons. He's the one that, even though he didn't want them to retaliate against Lamar, and that's one thing that I like about Terry and Meech at this point in the show, is that neither of them are really about violence at this point in the show. But Meech is kind of hard-headed at this point in the show, and Terry kind of seems like he has he likes what they're doing, and he's actually really good at it, and now at this point they have a new connect, and that connect doesn't even want to work with Meech. She wants to work with Terry, which is interesting. So I'm really interested for next episode to see what that does to their relationship, because that's kind of like Terry stepping over Meech, and I don't know why, but I have a feeling that's not going to go too well. So I am excited for episode 5. So far, what I can honestly say about this show from what I've seen is it does remind me a lot of Power naturally, right? Because this is something that's on Starz, and Power is the most popular crime series, or black gangster films or shows that we have right now. And then of course 50 Cent is a part of BMF, just like he is all a part of Power, right? But when I compare this show of what it's reminding me of as well, it's not just reminding me of Power. For some reason, it's also reminding me of Top Boy from Netflix. Now, I know Top Boy didn't start on Netflix, but I didn't know anything about Top Boy until it got to Netflix. And I don't know what it is, but this well, I do know what it is, but this show is reminding me a lot of the show Top Boy, which is also a show that I think is fictional. So even though BMF is not fully fictional, Top Boy, from my understanding, is. And the thing that made me put the two together is the Lamar guy. He's using tactics that are pretty similar to Jamie's tactics in Top Boy, which brought down not Jamie, I'm sorry. He has some of the same tactics as not Sully, but the guy that goes with Sully. If you watch Top Boy, you'll know what I mean. What's his name? Donovan, right. Thank you. Lamar kind of has some of the same tactics as Donovan from Top Boy, which is what caused Jamie from Top Boy to be thrown in prison. I don't know why, it just kind of reminds me of the same. It's the same situation. Donovan went to jail, even though Lamar went to a mental institution, he was still locked away, just like Jamie was from Top Boy. And then Donovan came out. He wanted to reclaim his spot as being quote unquote Top Boy, got into a rivalry with a younger guy in a rival gang, and it got really nasty, really ugly. People got hurt, kind of like what happened in the show BMF or in the real life situation. And then he set the guy up. The guy's brothers end up going to jail. He admits to something that he didn't do, and he ends up going to jail. That reminded me a little bit of BMF, because Lamar he's doing different things, he put the girl into Meech and Terry's crew, to pretty much be a spy and find out what's going on. And he's doing different underhanded things that I don't even think his crew knows all the stuff that he's doing. It's crazy. So yeah, if you haven't already gotten into BMF, if you are a fan of the Power series, I highly recommend BMF. Now, naturally, I had to compare Power Book 3 Raising Kanan to this show, only because they came out around the same time. When Power Book 3 Kanan went off, BMF was coming on. And I can honestly say that so far I'm enjoying BMF more so than what I enjoyed Power Book 3 Raising Kanan. I think that BMF is not as violent, even though in the 4th episode we saw Pat brutally murder his best friend in a ditch in the rain, that was pretty harsh to see. But if you're familiar with all of my previous videos, one thing you'll know about me is that I typically fast forward the sex scenes. I fast forward the violent scenes. I don't want to watch that. But yeah, that was like something else there. But even though that scene did happen and there is some violence in BMF, it's still not as violent as the Power series and as Raising Kanan was. Which is nice in my opinion, because I'm not with all the gore and sex scenes and all that stuff. But yeah, I can honestly say that so far, 4 seasons in, I'm certainly enjoying this more than Power Book 3. And I say that because I wasn't even really interested in, a whole series about Kanan, to be 100% honest with you. I just pretty much wanted to watch it because I was a fan of the first Power, and then of course Power Book 2 with little Tyreek running around giving everybody anxiety attacks. And somehow I kind of want to like watch all the series to see if they come full circle, since Power Book 3 is about Kanan. But if I had to compare Power Book 3 with BMF, so far I'm enjoying BMF way more than what I enjoyed that series. So I'm just interested to see where it goes from here. So yeah, if I had to rate BMF so far on a scale of 1 to 10, so far I'm giving BMF a solid 8. And that's pretty high because I am a harsh rater, if that's a word. Yeah, I rate harshly. So if on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm definitely giving it a solid 8. So I highly recommend it. So that's all for this video. If you have any comments, anything that you want to add or say, make sure you leave a comment down below. If you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button. And hopefully, God willing, I'll be posting another video next Sunday when episode 5 comes out. I'm really interested. Those previews look crazy. So in the meantime, peace, you guys. God bless you all in Jesus' name.